We're continuing our 2014 year in review. Let's talk a little about corn. What were the big lessons you saw this year in corn, Darren?
Well, it starts right from the beginning. You know, we had a cold winter and a long winter, and so when corn got planted early, there was a lot of stand loss out in fields. There are a lot of guys that lost 3,000 to 5,000 plants per acre, maybe even more in extreme cases, especially where they had drainage issues. So drainage definitely paid. Also, in-furrow headline that we've been talking about now for a few years. We've seen good gains in that on our farm and many farms across the country. That really paid this year, and we saw much better stands in those fields where we had that extra fungicide application in furrow.
Yeah, now there are a lot of other companies that are talking about fungicides in furrow. We haven't tested a lot of those, but we are excited to take a look at a number of other options as well. When we come back to the stand losses, I will just tell you on our own farm, we're switching what we're doing with the planter. We're going to put precision planting equipment on the planter this year because you could really see the difference between perfectly placed seed and not so perfectly placed seed. And you know, I would say too, later planted corn this year seemed to pay pretty well. Well, it doesn't always work out that way, but here's kind of the way that we've looked at it over the years. If it's a really cold spring, then a lot of times we have a little bit of time. You might be able to just wait an extra week or so and things turn out pretty well. Overall, yields were pretty good. It always starts with good soil testing and good soil fertility. We just strongly encourage you, take good soil tests. Learn how to read a soil test. If you don't know how, we have the free Ag PhD soil test app, so you can get our recommendations and learn about soil testing there. You can come to a free Ag PhD soils clinic. We want to help you with this because if you don't get the fertility thing right, it's going to be hard to get a great crop and harder to make money. And this year of all years, I mean, margins are going to be squeezed, let's put it that way. And you've got to have every dollar that you invest actually make some money for you.
One of the things that we learned this year, and it's a lesson that we've kind of had before, but never to this degree. We had like 20 inches of rain in a 3-week time period in June. It was ridiculous. That's never happened before. I know for sure in my lifetime it hasn't happened before.
It's never happened ever. It was a record for our state for the most amount of rainfall in a single month ever. So anyway, we had been dry and we remained dry other than that rain we got in June. So basically we've had 3 years of complete drought, but we got a whole bunch. We got a year's worth of rainfall in 3 weeks in June. So then you could really see some of the things we've tried to do right. Good drainage, reducing tillage, all those things were good. Any mistakes that we made, they really got amplified because we had so much rain in a short period of time.
I like how most of that soaked in, at least the first 10 inches or so, all soaked into the ground. And we hear time and time,
had drought for 2 years
we
straight.
hear time and time again, oh, it's going to take so many years for everything to turn around. Don't believe that. That can change in a hurry. We've seen it just in the last decade. We've gone from way too wet to way too dry to way too wet to way too dry. It just happens really quick with nature. The other thing that I was going to mention, Brian, that's worthy of note is our field day this year was tremendous. And I was worried about it because we were so dry for so long. I thought, how are we ever going to get crops to grow?
And then we were so wet, and yes. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. And if you attended our field day this last year, we just wanted to say thank you. Thanks for a great year. Thanks for all these great years. Ag PhD has been on the air now for almost 17 years now. So we just want to say thank you so much for watching the show, and we hope you can join us for this coming year's field day and this winter's workshops.
Well, we've had fun talking about the 2014 year in review, but we still have to control our Weed of the Week. It's coming up next.